It is freezing outside. I hate the feeling of being cold. So today, let's go over the best winter essentials you need to stay warm and look good at the same time. Now the thing is, here in California, it doesn't even get that cold, but it definitely feels like that for me. But I'm going to be traveling to some colder states, and I'm definitely going to be using everything on this list. For example, the first one is going to be base layers. Now, you need a really strong base layer when it comes to the winter. Obviously, the winter is all about layering, but basically, the more layers you could wear, the better. As long as you're not looking like an absolute marshmallow, you'll look good, stay warm at the same time. The one that I'm going to be gravitating towards a lot is going to be thermal tees. Now, it's up to you if you want to wear something underneath the thermal tees, but these do a pretty good job of keeping you warm, and it makes a really good base layer. The second thing that you're going to need this winter is going to be a puffer jacket. Now, these are pretty common. Everybody's wearing a puffer jacket, and for the longest, I was putting it off to the side just because for that sole reason, I thought that I would look like an absolute marshmallow wearing this. Because of the name puffer jacket, I just assumed that I'd be puffy myself, but that really just isn't the case. These are probably one of the best looking jackets in my opinion for looking good and staying warm at the same time. I personally love my puffer jackets to be in the color black. I do want a green one, I do want a brown one, so those are probably gonna be some of my next pickups, but I do have more of a beige one. I got this one from Forever 21, and I have two black ones from Hollister and from Nautica. Puffer jackets are definitely some of my go-tos. I cannot tell you how many times I stepped outside, cold wind would hit me in the face, and I immediately went back inside to go switch it out for a puffer jacket. The next winter essential that I'm going to be using the most of is going to be thicker pants. Now, you don't have to go outside and wear snow pants. It's not what I'm saying at all, but you definitely got to stock up on some thicker pants. And if you're like me and you're getting old, when your legs are cold, your knees start to hurt. I don't know why I'm feeling this. I'm only 19 years old, but that's a huge problem for me. So thicker pants are definitely essential in the winter. So I love my corduroy pants in the winter. Something that you don't really see too often, so it makes up for a good option. I like my brown pants from Dickies. This is also one of my go-tos. High quality thick denim is going to be one of the more popular options for a good reason because it works so well. And if you want to try cotton, that's also a really good option as well. All right, the next thing is going to be a good pair of boots. Now, ever since I actually stepped out of my comfort zone and tried a good pair of boots, I fell in love with it ever since. When it comes to the colder season, I love it just because I always think about wearing more boots. There are plenty of options out there. Chelsea boots are going to be one of the more popular options, even though some people think that it's a dying trend. Don't feel like that at all. I'm still going to be wearing mine. Chukka boots is one that you don't really see all that much anymore, but still a great option as well. If you want something timeless, a pair of lace-up boots will probably be your best friend. You can get some good ones from Doc Martens or something like Thursday boots, which I love, by the way. I had a pair of Thursday boots in the past, and although they're a little bit too small on me now, definitely gonna be buying a new one very, very soon. But when I was younger, I used to never think about wearing boots, but I remember a few times I wore them in high school, and the entire day I was very worried about what other people think. So if you do feel like you're gonna be that same way, don't worry, you're not alone, but I will say I got in way more compliments on my boots than I did rather than something like my Jordan 1 Hyper Royals. Try it out, step out your comfort zone. At the end of the day, most people don't really care about what you wear as much as you think, so go ahead and pick up a good pair of boots. The next style essential for the winter is going to be a good Sherpa jacket. Sherpa jackets is another one of my top 3 favorite jackets in the winter. It looks good, you stay warm. What more can you ask for in a jacket? Now, I have quite a few of these. I love my corduroy one. Corduroy is such a perfect option for the fall and winter. A denim one is a very good option, even though I don't have one currently, but I definitely should pick one up very soon. I also have one from a different kind of material. I really couldn't even tell you what this is, but I got it from Gap. This was definitely one of my favorite pickups. This does a really good job of keeping you nice and cozy, especially my neck. I love the feeling of the Sherpa on my neck when it's cold outside. It just makes me feel nice and cozy. Definitely a good option. And like I said, there's plenty of options out there for you to choose from when it comes to Sherpa jackets. Denim is definitely the most popular option, but if you want to try something different, try that corduroy option. The next thing you need is a good beanie. Now, I typically don't really wear beanies all that much, but sometimes I have to remember that you have to have a good option between style and comfort. Even though I don't wear beanies all that much, just because sometimes it's in my own head that I have a weird shaped head. Yes, I know, it's definitely in my head. No one else thinks this. So if you're that same way, you gotta put that thought aside and start wearing a beanie. My favorite one is from Polo Ralph Lauren. I love the little pipple in the middle. I know Carhartt definitely has some of the most popular beanies out right now, especially me because my ears are so big. They tend to get very cold very fast, so a good way to fix this would be a nice beanie. All right, the next thing would be a sweater. Now, sweaters are kind of vague because if you search up sweaters online, you're going to get a bunch of different options. So let me go over some of my favorite ones. My crew neck sweater is going to be one of my favorite options. Yes, it's different from my crew neck sweatshirt. Sweatshirt's a little bit more relaxed. And although that is a good option, normal crew neck sweater is definitely a great option to have in the winter. First, it's going to hug you a little bit nicer so it can be a little bit warmer. And also, it's a little bit more of an elevated look, which, especially if you're on the younger side, you need to start playing around with. Don't just dress streetwear every single time. Switch it up from a sweatshirt and wear it in normal. crew neck sweater. There's also turtleneck sweaters, which I really don't recommend wearing to school, but if you're going to a dressed up occasion, this would be a good option. And finally, the next sweater that's very popular would be a zip down sweater. But yeah, start experimenting with these. It would definitely help keep you warm. The next essential for the winter would definitely be fleece. Now, I've definitely started using fleece the most, probably in the last 3 months. Not only because I started to get cold, but before that, the winters prior, I never wanted to wear fleece just because I wasn't a huge fan of how they looked. But once I started wearing it for myself, instantly fell in love with it. Now I have so many pieces that have that fleece material. So I'm personally going to be wearing this a lot. It does such a good job of keeping you warm. And it is something a little bit different rather than the normal puffer jackets and everything else that you see. Fleece is definitely going to be one of my go-tos this winter. I love it in a quarter zip. I have 2 of them in a quarter zip. There's also fleece sweatshirts or full zip downs. So definitely start experimenting with those. The one that I have is from Timberland, but you could play around and get some from Uniqlo or any other places like that. Now, another winter essential that I completely forgot to talk about is going to be a good winter cologne. Now, when it comes to colognes, there's either fresh or there's something a little bit more masculine, something like leather. So you can get something like Tom Ford Ombre Leather. That is a perfect one, but I personally don't want to spend that money on one cologne. So you could do something like Alt Fragrances, give you the same exact thing, just minus the name. Or, of course, if you want that brand name, but you don't want to spend that much, Scentbird is also a good option. But it's just something to play around with. Again, it's entirely up to you. Need help shopping for all these things? First of all, I have them linked in the description if you wanted to pick it up for yourself. And second, I have a video talking about the best places to shop online. So make sure to check that out. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one.